That was my favorite part of the story, was the @Rogers guy, and I remember seeing a tweet about that yesterday, and I could only imagine how much his phone blew up with all the messages of, I hate your service, or something like that, and
Poor
he's
guy.
just like, nothing. He's like a CEO of a company, has nothing to do with that, but very interesting. All right, let's turn our attention to local sports, and of course, the Lakeland Rustlers Women's Basketball team. We're gonna have to be doing things by committee, of course, because they have a little situation at the point guard position.
And the #1 spot has been the least of head coach Chris King's worries. That was in the past, however, but without a true floor general this season, he's looking at all the options on the bench to fill that role.
What was a strength last season is now shrouded in mystery for the time being, with Amy Warbrick graduating, leaving a hole at the point guard position.
Last year we had the best point guard, I would say, in Canada. So you never really worried about a lot of things, ball pressure or turnovers or scoring. Amy could do all those things for us. This year we got a new crew coming in. We lost a couple recruits late, so right now we're kind of rotating 3 or 4 girls.
2 rookies and 2 veterans look to share the duties. 4th-year Amanda Carlton might be the best option. She's done it before, and at 6'1" can provide mismatches.
Played point guard until about 7th, 8th grade, and then I went to shooting guard and post. So I'm going back to when I was younger, back to the fundamentals and stuff, but it's good for me. Being a taller person, I could bring it up if I have a post on me. So that's always an option throughout the whole season. I know it was in the past seasons too.
That's the positive. However, Amanda's scoring could suffer. Same could be said about Mariah Van Hoff, quarterbacking the offense. And that's where MC McQueen and Lisa Eggum enter the mix, both rookie guards who are adjusting to the ACAC.
Getting a preseason, it felt kind of awkward where I was yelling at, second year, third year, fourth year girls being like, you need to get to that position and stuff like that. So it's been a bit of an adjustment, but I find that when we step onto the floor, it doesn't really feel like it matters how old we are. It's definitely just what needs to be done at that moment, and that's my role. So I just need to step up in that position.
Not so much intimidating, but it kind of pushes you to try and get better. So it's kind of like they lead by example, and them pushing themselves at you makes you better overall. So I liked that aspect of it.
I think these girls are going to get better at it. It's just going to take some time. So frustration level for them and myself is probably high at this point as the learning curve starts to go up.
The old adage, patience is a virtue, seems to be the motto at the moment. In 2 weeks' time, the Rustlers will get a true sense of where they're at. In the meantime,
it is getting better. It's going to be a long process, and hopefully we have kids step up.
All right, round 2 of the Border City Battle is underway at Armstrong Field. The game might not mean anything in the standings-wise. Well, you know these two teams don't want to lose to each other, especially being crosstown rivals. The Raiders did get the best of the Barons 2 weeks ago. The score was 24-17. The Comp did a great job shutting down leading rusher Donovan Granum, holding him to just 51 yards on the ground. Now the Raiders have already locked up top spot in the South and have a first-round bye. As for the Barons, they still have something to play for, as they have been unable to put a winning streak together, alternating wins and losses throughout the year. Now, as we told you yesterday, the Baker Hughes Bobcats are off to a solid 3-0 start to the season. A young man with a pair of goals to his name is Captain Ryan Symington, who chats with Matt Schumont in this week's Superstar Next Door.
Skating for the first time at the age of 2, Ryan Symington started playing hockey a year later, and now playing on the Baker Hughes AAA Bobcats team, Ryan has developed a very strong work ethic.
My biggest thing is I go 110% every time I'm on the ice. I really like to work and battle in the corners and stuff. I'm kind of trying to add that to an offensive role this year with putting up some extra points.
And because of his work ethic and leadership, Ryan was named captain, a letter he says he wanted to wear this year.
I was the captain U16, and I really wanted to get that letter back on my jersey, so I really took the role of talking lots on the bench and helping guys out just throughout, on ice and off ice.
Everything that he does is something that I want all 20 of my guys to do, and he does that on a daily basis, and he's consistent with it. And he's not the most vocal guy, but he does it by example, and that's what you ask for from a captain.
Now, as for what Ryan has planned for his future, he's hoping he can crack a Junior A roster or potentially play at the college level.
I think I'd like to play Junior A and hopefully attend school. I don't know whether it be Junior A or I was looking into university hockey.
With the effort that he puts in, I definitely can see him making that next step to junior, and then you never know after that. But, sometimes a guy like him maybe gets overlooked, doesn't put up the big numbers, but he's a very solid two-way player. And, he's got 2 goals already this year, and hopefully we can get him a little more offense.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.